Hello everybody, welcome to Hollywood Bets and we're talking about Greybull Racing. Of course, we've got our Twitter account updated and YouTube also, of course, Weighted to Win, WhatsApp, all that sort of stuff. Important that you be part of that. Hopefully all is in good order. We get straight into the first. We've got Royal Ascot today, so we know we'll keep these previews short and sweet and get to the point really, and where we got the horse Raf's Rocket, whom we've heard is very strong, 11 to 10. Well, I've heard it's very, very strong. I've also heard strong about the Marshall horse, Professor Lupin, who's trading at 28 to 10 as the second choice, and I'll go straight to Daryl Marie to find out which of the two he prefers, because it does appear to be a two-horse race.
Yeah, I'm not going to separate the two, Clyde. I think it's a match race. They have met in the past, Professor Lupin Holtz, Raf's Rocket, but that was Raf's Rocket's debut, so I'm not going to separate the two of them. I'll put them both in.
Okay, both of those from Daryl. Darren, good morning. A two-horse race, or are you going beyond?
One-horse race for me, Clyde. Just take note, my best bet has only missed once this month, being Acorn on Friday. Every other day, my best bet is won, and this is my best bet on the card, Raf's Rocket. He absolutely took off last time out. He was a bit outpaced and green, and the 14's going to be ideal. I'm hoping he's closer to the pace, and he should run away from them. I think he'll reverse that form with Professor Lupin, who looked a little bit one-paced last time out. I think Raf's Rocket to open the meeting.
Okay, well, I'm taking my foot off the pedal then, because I was going Professor Lupin, but you have been in great form, and Raf's Rocket from Darren's perspective to win the first. Daryl's got other ideas, I think, in terms of making a two-horse race 5 and 6 in his bar pot by 2 and 7, by 1, 3, 6, 8, by Banker 5, by 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last leg 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. So, which is the story here? Turbo Power win the second race, is even money, but this is that horse. This is the horse we've been waiting for. What's this horse called? Tra Quatre is the 3 to 1. Is this the horse we've been waiting for that hasn't run forever?
No.
So I'm not looking at cards. I'm coming in here. I've been asked to come in here fresh and not have a preview, and then get information from Daryl and Darren, then and make an assessment. So it's not the horse we're waiting for. No. Okay, so then Turbo Power overs then.
I wouldn't say overs, Clyde. You know, it was an encouraging debut. He showed a lot of toe early on, and then he lost concentration halfway through. He was doing his best work late. Himself in the winner one race. The third horse was also unraced. Klitzkras. He's come out and run twice since then, and placed twice. So some question marks.
Something about that. All right.
Trois Quatre. Now he's been very, very disappointing. And what's interesting now, they've taken the blinkers off.
Sure, and that form line's bad, eh?
But Clyde, go to his debut effort, which is his best effort by far. By far, Clyde.
Yes.
Behind him were horses like Thunderstone, Destiny of Souls, Foster Nova, Tamarisk Tree. That's strong form. Certainly good enough. But there is a comment from the Hollywood Syndicate. The break could have done him the world of good, and his work cannot be faulted. So make of that what you want. I don't know. I went the two.
What happened to this horse Tyrconnell of the Cox that ran in that first race debut? That's the horse I'm waiting for.
That's the horse you're waiting for.
Yes. What's going on? I was asked Michael, what happened to that horse? Mr. Burrows, what are we doing? Form lines on both first and second favourites are not good. What's the story, race 2?
Yes, Turbo Power's form line is suspect, but he was eye-catching in the closing stages. I have heard that he's very strong. The connections are confident that he'll win. I'm going to take my chances and say Turbo Power's the horse to beat, because the step up in trip's going to suit him. Trois Quatre, very one-paced. He takes ages to get going, and I think the drop in trip isn't the right move. He is returning after a break. The blinkers removed. He might be caught for speed. So for that reason, I'm going Turbo Power to win.
All right, interesting. Let's get place accumulators 2 and 7 in the first by 1 and 8. And maybe not safe first leg. Worrying by 1 and 8, by Banker 5, by 3, 4, 5, 6, by 3, 6, 7, by 1 and 6, by 2 and 4. In terms of place accumulators from Daryl's side, 192 Rand. On to race number 3 now. Let's have a look at this maiden class field over 1,100 metres. There's a horse in here called Stars in Heaven who's got a chance, particularly on its debut run. And this 2-year-old, yeah, they're taking on older horses, but just in a few days' time, they'll be 3 years old and does appear to be one of the fancied runners. I have heard about Alison Wright's horse, though. They do like that quite a lot. What do you think, Mr. Marie, in the race?
Yeah, that's number 6, right? Victor Rell.
Alison's horse, yes. It's
Yeah, he's
6
gonna run
and Stars in
another-
Heaven's number 1.
Another honest race, Clyde. He's had his chances, appears very limited. Benny in the area. Now, if you take a line through Maserati Raw, who he beat by 6 lengths, and Maserati Raw beat Victor Rell. So on a line through, who is it? Maserati Raw, Benny in the area should hold Victor Rell, but racing doesn't work that way, Clyde.
Yeah.
It's not an exact
But
science.
the form lines worked out particularly well.
Yes. Rafa's boy also franked that form.
Yeah.
Stars in Heaven number 1 is the 2-year-old. He was well supported on debut, put up a fair debut. That winner followed up on that victory. So, yeah, I make it between numbers 1 and 8. I respect 3 and 6, Clyde.
Okay. All right, so maybe a little more open than what it looks like from a betting perspective. Let's take a look at, well, Mr. Burrows, let me bring you in, sir. It is pick 6 time, so it's your pick 6. What are we doing?
Well, I played the safe route, but Benny in the area has to be my first choice. Just on that form line, there's been direct winners from that race. He ran well. He's got a bit of a deep draw. I'm not sure what the tactics are going to be, but he's going to rate my first choice. I've got respect for Victor Rell. He's going to win his maiden soon. He's been close up in his last couple of starts. And then your 2-year-old, Stars in Heaven. I'm not a big fan of Blinker's first time out because you don't know how much a horse can improve from there. But he ran well. He ran 3rd behind Romance and Roma, came out to win. And he receives weight from the other 2. So he's got to be competitive. Benny in the area, definite value.
Okay, let's get Darren's pick 6, 1, 5, 6, 8, by 5, 6, 8, 10, by 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, by 1, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, by 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. These are starting to look like Molly's PAs now. Banker 2 at the back, 336 Rand for 10%. Thank you, Darren. Let's get that pick 6 on. Right, on to race number 4. Welcome back. Let's get into the action now. Imaginable. And this is for Alison Wright and Keegan DeMella. They fancy this 5-2 favourite. 10 Duke of Africa, 22-10 or 5-2 thereabouts. They joints. Number 8 Triton is trading at 5-1. And number 6 Safe Space at 6-1. It's 14, 15-1 and better about here. So surely this is now Imaginable's race for the taking. Daryl, surely.
Yeah. Did you just start this previews with right on to race 4?
Right, yes.
Right,
That's the
Alison
key.
Wright. That's the
Yes.
Hey,
That's the key.
I
That's
like
the
the
key.
look of him, Clyde. He fair 2 runs before being rested. I think they felt that he's much better than what he's showing, and he needed some time to strengthen up. Then last time out, first run after rest, very, very encouraging considering it was way short of his optimum distance, Clyde. Have a listen to this. His half sister by Judd Potts won over 1.5 miles and 2,600. Strip fitter, Keegan DeMelo for Alison Wright. Now again, the right trip, I make him very, very hard to beat.
Hard to beat. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So, in agreement with that, being particularly in solid form. Unfortunately, that particular line hasn't been franked from those that have run already, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Mr. Burrows, which way? I know in your pick 6s you've got a few, but your first choice?
My first choice, narrowly Imaginable. He did the furthest he went was 1,700 meters, where he was a bit disappointing. But he's had the comeback run over 1,400 meters. If he had 2 comeback runs and this was his 3rd run back, I would be confident. But seeing that it's a true 2nd run after a rest, it's not a confident selection just on that. Duke of Africa, he's had his chances, but he's getting closer and closer to his maiden victory. He can't be ignored. On a line of form behind Kashkaval, Triton was only a nick behind Duke of Africa, but he's also had his chances and Safe Space of the rest. So the biggest improver in the race has got to be Imaginable.
Okay, that is the case, and Daryl's taking his chances by bankering. Well, even I say taking his chances, he's quite bullish about bankering the 5 here. Then 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 by 1 and 6. Okay, back with us. Let's get on to race number 5 now. And this is a handicap over 1,700 meters. From a market perspective, I can tell you that Midnight Crystal is the 5-2 favorite. And from a social media perspective, please have a look at our @Weighted to Win Twitter account, which is growing as we go day by day. And great to see as many followers as we have. There's the WhatsApp number that you can join. The communication is ongoing. And we're also on YouTube as well. All right, well, does appear to be a bit of a tough one. I've got a horse in here called Time to the Moon. Well, my nephew does anyway. The family, they're quite bullish about it. They give it a chance. Only thing that worries me is that that form hasn't really worked out particularly well. But I've seen this horse in the flesh, and I was impressed with the way this horse looks and presents itself. So whether Greyville Polly suits or not, I don't know. You know, we'll work it out today, but she's got a chance.
Yeah, maybe when she retires, you can buy her as a show jumping horse if you
Could
like
I?
her that much.
Yes.
Yeah, number 6, Clyde. I don't know if you've seen her in the flesh. I haven't, but she looks quite imposing, Duchess of Gold. So I think
No, I've never seen
taken some time to fill out her big frame. Last 2 efforts confirm that she's certainly on the upgrade, and I'll give her another winning chance. Excuse me. You booked my appointment tomorrow, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Jam, much better than her latest efforts. Back on the Polly, she's 1 from 1. Midnight Crystal, good last effort. Gardenia, good last effort. Competitive, Clyde.
Okay, so competitive race. Mr. Burrows, what do you make of this handicap, this race?
Well, I made it between 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, Gardenia, it took her a long time to win again, but she won very comfortably last time out, and she can follow up. Jam, we labeled her last time out, but I don't know what happened. She wasn't striding out the final 400. Well, from what I saw on the TV, she just faded right out of contention. Back on the Polly, 1 from 1. On pedigree, she should stay. So Jam's got to go in. Midnight Crystal should be thereabouts. Time to the Moon will be running on strongly at the finish. I think the trip's going to suit. And then Duchess of Gold. That was a good win last time out, and she's not out of it. So all of 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 I've included into the play.
Okay, I think you're quite right. Time to the Moon does want the ground. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 and banker 2 at the back. Darren Burrows jackpot 210 Rand. Race number 6 on the card, and here number 1 Action Stations 4-1 favourite, 4-1 the field. 7 Senor Gracia 9-2, and 4 Catalaya Summer is trading at 5-1. There are a whole lot of horses in here that must have chances, almost like a field race. Mr. Burrows, what do you think?
Yes, Clyde, there is a horse I thought maybe worth a small each way bet, win place. Joshua Hot Snake. Now, he's been running over 1,200 meters in his last couple of starts, and he's a 1,400-meter specialist. Back on the Polly, 3 draw, Calvin Habib in the saddle. At around 12 or 14-1, you can't get hurt, but include him into your play. Senor Garcia ran ahead of Joshua Hot Snake last time out, and he found trouble, and he's better over 1,400. He's got to go in. Others to consider: Action Stations, Crested Eagle, also got chances.
Yeah, there are. I think there's going to be a number of them that got chances. I mean, Joshua could well be the Shruti in the back, but what do you think?
He's actually my second pick, Clyde.
Okay.
I think this track and trip is ideal for him. Looks like there's quite a bit of pace in the race. Just needs to settle. We have seen him take a tug in the past. That stable appears to be finding good form recently. Senor Garcia in his penultimate start, he quickened up beautifully over the course and distance. They just did go very quick on that occasion. Pascali, Clyde. I think he'll run another honest race. He's always there and thereabouts, but look at his rating. He's right down to 68 now. He's having his peak run. He's a 2.5 kilos better off with Action Stations, or maybe even 4 now, because I don't think that Apprentice claims any longer. Am I correct?
Who?
Spare Hlengwa. Number
No,
one.
not that I'm aware of. No, I don't think he
I
claims.
think he
no.
rode his 50th winner.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
There's no what's the name of any claim.
Okay. Yeah. Clyde, tricky.
All right. Tricky. Your phone's pinging again. Look, ping. Every
No.
time Daryl Marie's phone goes ping, it's a transaction. So he coughs and he keeps thinking it's something else. And that's the reaction he
Yeah.
gets. He sees ping, withdrawal, ping. So and he gets up, and that's his reaction to the coughing. But he's at an appointment tomorrow. We've sorted it all out.
Wife
for him.
shopping.
The wife shopping. Every time the wife shops, the phone goes ping and he starts coughing on the show. Anyway, let's have a look. What are our selections here, guys? We're going 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 by 1 and 6 by 2 and 4. That's a pick 3 play and it's 20 Rand spin. On to race number 7 now. Let's have a look at the Sparkling Water handicap over 1,400 metres. Market has got the source favourite. Winter Waves, number 9 on the card at 33 to 10. 2 Hippocrates is 4 to 1. I think that's Darren's first choice. And number 1 Shifting Path is 5 to 1. Find it to be quite a challenging race though, based betting and just a quick overview of everything. What
Yeah.
do you?
All Gravel Poly handicaps generally very tricky,
Yeah.
Clyde. I like the look of number 6 over here, GM Batista. Have a look the last time Richard Vries sat on his back. It was over this very same course and distance and he won by 4 lengths, Clyde.
Right.
I don't know. Will he push forward? I think that's the key. If he gets handy, this horse is capable. I'm hoping he goes handy. And then Shifting Path found good form in his second run. Good improvement. He needs to produce a similar effort and he'll be thereabouts.
Okay, well, GM Batista is trading around 6 to 1 at the moment. Mr. Burrows, were you big on Hippocrates?
No, Clyde, I'm actually big on Purple Powerhouse in the last race, number 2, not Hippocrates. I like a bit of Shifting Path. His rating is absolutely tumbled. Yes, he got a 2-point penalty last time out, but he should be competitive over this course and distance. He'll push forward. Asaraludu interests me. Now, his last run on the Poly, 3 runs back, he won by almost 3 lengths, gearing down at the line. Then his last 2 starts maybe a bit below par, but back on the Poly, he could prove the value. GM Batista's not out of it. And others to consider, Winter Waves. I thought the best of the rest.
Interesting. Okay, so Asaraludu is, as you heard from Darren, perhaps the horse to beat in the race, and just from that perspective, that horse Moyawala Liga came out of there and won. All right, so that's Darren's side. Darryl's side, he's taking some doubles, 1 and 6, and then into 2 and 4. Well, it's open this race in particular because they bet almost 11 to 2, in some cases 6 to 1 the field. Purple Powerhouse is from Darren Burrows' side. We heard about it, him make reference to it earlier in his jackpot banker. Darren, tell us why you like this so much.
Clyde, just before 3 runs back, he had a long layoff. And usually after a long layoff, it takes a horse 3 to 4 starts to peak again. His first run back over 1,200 meters, he was flying home. He only got beat a length and a quarter. He is a 1,200 meter horse. They tried him over 1,400 in his last 2 starts. He didn't quite find a finish. They've dropped him back in trip, peak run, blinkers go on, and Keegan DeMello in the saddle. I just feel this is the ideal race and worth a small bet.
Okay, so there's something to look at, Purple Powerhouse. Mr. Marie?
I like him. Darren's touched on him. I want to touch on number 4 of your Preemptive Strike, Clyde. Now, he's only had 2 career victories to date. Both have been over the 1,200. Excuse me, Clyde. So I like the fact that he's coming back in
pinging again, yes.
But look at this now, Clyde. The
Yep.
last time he was over this course and distance, he was off that he won off was a 65 rating. He's back off a 65. So I think he'll run another honest race. I'll make it between 2 and 4.
Okay, so both guys, 2, 1 on the 2, the other one on the 4. In terms of that, this is the plan then from Waiter to Win. We're going with Purple Powerhouse. You heard Darren like that. You might want to take some quartets, perhaps 2 and 4 double floaters, as you heard Darryl like the 4 as well. That's the latest from Hollywood Bets Gravel.